Hey, do you want to quit your job? Well, I am about to celebrate the anniversary of the last day that I worked for somebody else. Aloha. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Marianne Roos, and I'm here to help release that badass in you. Enjoying our little fireplace right here. Yes, it is made out of cardboard. I had a wonderful time making it, making that fake little fireplace, the little fake fire, the fake fireplace, so that we could have a place to put our little Christmas tree and put Christmas cards and decorations, because the apartment we're living in does not have a fireplace. Usually apartments don't, right? But back to quitting. So in order to be able to quit, number one, my husband and I had discussed this ahead of time, that we had certain criterias that needed to be met in order for me to be able to quit my job and simply focus on my own business, because I was working a job and also building my own business on the side. And so total support, teamwork, right, of doing things with my husband. And once those criterias were met, then it was time to plan how I was going to quit. How was I going to fire my boss? So I wanted to have a little bit of a flair to it. And I had seen videos of quitting with, my favorite one was actually a quartet coming in to sing, to do a quitting song basically. And it's not something that I could do where I was because of, well, the facility that it was at. It was not conducive to having somebody arrive on property and come into the building to do a quartet to say, I quit, you're fired. No, it was definitely not the place that was something that was not a possibility. So looking at different videos and all that, and I was like, oh, what if I actually use the business that I'm building to quit the job that I don't need anymore? And so I had been working in the medical field for eons, it feels like, within a variety of offices. And this last one, I worked at it for 8 years, a little bit over 8 years actually. But I was ready. I was feeling so ready. Like mentally, I was a goner kind of thing. I was fried. And oh, I was like, what if I use my business that I'm building to fire my boss? So that meant that the business I was building, which is my main business, and I still have other businesses, by the way, but my main business is in the fields of gratitude, appreciation, kindness. I'm a gratitude consultant. And that may sound very weird for quitting, right? How do you use that to quit a job? How do you use that to fire your boss? Well, I used our service to do a thank you card. I sent a thank you card to myself using our service because I wanted a very specific thank you card. And it's not one that's available in store. But through the service, I can do fully customized front, back, inside, everything, all the bells and whistles. So I created that thank you card. I sent it to myself. It's not this one. It's not this one because I gave it. I gave it and I don't have it. However, I do have it in the system. I can log into my account and I can see all my card sending history. And I can pull up that particular card. I can see the words. I can see which images that I sent and so on. And basically, it was a thank you card. And the reason why I sent it to myself instead of sending it to my boss is because I wanted to be able to hand it in person so that I would know exactly when that notice was given, because I wanted to time it to where I was giving a standard 2 weeks notice, and I wanted my very last day to be Christmas Eve, so that Christmas Day of the year 2020 was my very first Christmas, where I was no longer working for anybody else, only working for myself. And so it was important for me to know exactly the when my boss would get that thank you card slash you're fired, so that the timing would be calculated, right? And so when I handed my boss that thank you card, it was in an envelope, right? My boss opened the envelope and it was saying, thank you for the opportunity to be of service to the patients. Thank you for the opportunity of being of service to you. And it is time for me to build and spread my wings. And my last day is Christmas Eve. So this was back in December of 2020. So as my boss is reading the thank yous and the thank yous, oh, well, you're welcome. And then gets to the my last day is Christmas Eve 2020. It was that perplexed look. What? What? So that is how I did my firing of my boss. So if you have been able to quit your job to do what's on your heart, I would love to hear your story. How did you quit? How did you give notice? And if you are looking to do something to build a business so that you can fire your boss, I would love to talk to you about being part of my team. And if you are already building a business to where you're ready to fire your boss and you would like to do it with Flair like I did, let me know, because if you have not used my service yet, you can do it on the house. So with that said, be sure to go to the show notes that are going to be at the blog right down here. And I will put the link for connecting with me to possibly work with me on my team. I will also put the link on here at this page for how you can send a card, tangible card. You pick the image, you pick the message, you pick who it goes to. I will even make sure that the postage is covered. So this is if you haven't used our service before, right? So if you have not used our service before, be sure to use that link to send a free card. Printed, postage included. And if you want to do that to fire your boss, let me know. I would love to hear the story. If you want to use it to say to somebody, I appreciate you, I'm thankful for you, feel free to use it. If you want to wish somebody a happy holiday season, feel free to use it. All right, until next time, toodle pip, who we hope. Have a great rest of the day. Toodaloo.